So I have the key in the ignition. The motorhome was just parked, so we're gonna run the slides on the key in accessory mode as it has full voltage. So that's the main part of having the engine running when you're operating the slides. You want to have full battery voltage so that the slide motors have the optimum power supply. So I'm just gonna press and hold in until we hear the clutch. Opposite, when the slide goes out, you want to wait for the trim piece to meet up with the wall. That's the sound there that it's finished. So you're gonna go do the living room slide. So slide in. So the floor is clean. So when you park your motorhome, you first want to have the jacks down and then put the slides out. That's just so that there's no rocky movement when you're putting the slides out. Like when they're out, you don't want to have any. There's the sound of the slide. When you're putting the slide, once the slide is out, the leveling jacks would throw a lot of movements, and that's not ideal for the slide condition. So always jacks down and then slides out. So what we're going to do now is open up the garage door and turn on the generator. Right. So I'm going to press and hold the stop prime button until this red light turns on, or for 10 seconds, sorry. And then start. There you go. So the timer will add up eventually, and it takes 2 minutes for the power to transfer. It is an automatic power transfer switch, so we'll see the light turn on the microwave, and then we can turn the AC on. Okay, so the power is on. Power is transferred. So we'll come back here and just give it a second. Okay. So the mode button cycles through AC, furnace, and heat pump. So I'll just quickly describe, so AC all runs through the ceiling, furnace all runs through the floor. We saw the exhaust at the patio side door. The heat pump uses the air from the ceiling, from outside, and it pumps it through the air conditioner system, and it can have the furnace running at the same time. So it kind of mixes the two, uses like a bit of the furnace from the floor and the AC air to have like a fan going at the same time. So if you don't like to have the mixing, make sure that you have the fan setting to auto. So just gonna run mode here. So cool, this would be how to set the AC. Pretty sure you can hear it running. So when that's slid open, it's called the blast cool mode. When it's closed, it will go through the vents in the ceiling. All right, so that's auto. Heat pump, as I was discussing there. Furnace, you can have the combination heat pump and furnace. And then furnace, you have to turn the propane on. And I'm just gonna turn that off. So the generator does not use its power for the furnace. The furnace is 12 volt and propane. I'm going to turn that off. So again, we're inside a building, so it does sound a little bit louder. Excuse me. There. And I can quick turn on the propane as well. So I turn on the propane, and I'm just going to turn on this fan. So I'm going to do the stovetop. So basically, to start up the furnace, if you haven't had any propane running through the lines, it does help to turn on a stove vent. So just give 1 second. There we go. So one in the back, low, and off. Sorry, trying to do hands hello, and turn to high, low, and off. Give it a second to cool down before you close the glass top. And now we're going to turn the furnace on. So you hear it kick over because it's above the temperature of what it is currently inside. And eventually we will hear it coming through the floor vents as well. There we go. So you can turn up the fan speed to auto. That keeps, when it's on auto, it makes sure that it doesn't come, cold air doesn't come down through the ceiling as well. For the first little while, you may smell a bit of a burning smell from the furnace just because it is a new line. You do have the carbon monoxide detector and the smoke detector if there were a true issue. I'm going to cycle this to off, and then we're going to do the leveling jacks. So when you first park the motorhome, so the air is still cycling through the furnace. That's why it sounds a little windy. Even though it's off, it's just getting the rest of the air through the line. When you park the motorhome first, you do want to walk around outside, make sure that that is the spot that you're going to be parking it, that there's no trees or posts or anything in the way, and it's the most level ground that you can. The other thing is that you want to make sure there's no power cords running underneath the motorhome, like at the jack. So you want to make sure that that is a good spot for the jack pads to go down. So I'm going to turn the leveling jacks on. So it says ready, jacks are up, and it's got the green light in the center that it's ready to go. You can at this time press auto level and the jacks will go down on their own. I will just show you how to do manual so that you are aware of how to use it. So down, these down arrows here, so it just gives you some specs. So in the garage, we're pretty level side to side and front to rear, so that's why we've got this solid green light. Manual level, enter to begin. So I'm going to press enter, and you operate the jacks down in pairs. So I'm going to press front and just wait for them to touch. I'm going to feel a little bit of a movement inside, and you'll hear it too. One touched, and the other. So now it says 0.1. Now we're going to do the back. One and the other. All right, and so then we're 0 again. So then you just go out and you check that the feet are down and that there's no that the tires are not lifted off of the ground. In this case, it's a very low, like as I said, for like side to side and front to back, it's at 0 or 0.1, so it's not a big difference. But if the tires were lifted off the ground, you would want to retract them and put them down in manual, because auto can sometimes do that and it's considered not to be safe. Just taking a look there, the jacks are down, and then now we're going to use retract all and put the jacks back up. So just quick closing the propane tank. All right, so I'm gonna cycle through here, auto retract all entered to begin. That's what we want. Sorry, focus there. So I'm just gonna press this and we'll feel a shift downwards. So ready, jacks are up. So I'm going to turn this off, and then you'd be able to start driving since the jacks have just been brought up. So again, so when you park, make sure that it's a good spot. Put the leveling jacks down, put the slides out. When you're leaving, bring the slides in, and then bring the jacks up. If you hear this panel making a beeping sound, it could be that the jacks have started to creep down, in which case you'd want to come back here and press retract all to bring them back up. All right, so we've gone through all the features of the motorhome inside and out. If you have any questions about any of the areas, please just let us know, and we are happy to go over them.